Check 111. Hey, how are you doing? Chris Courtney here, new Pragmatic. Just waiting on the YouTubes to fire. We yeah. Give me some love. All right, there it is. That's good. That's good. Make sure we get the audio there. Okay. So audio's up and running, and the YouTube has fired. And you know what? I'm just gonna let's just go. Um, so we normally do this whole feedback loop thing, and we do it as work arrives. And what I'm discovering is there's a lot of client work going on right now. So the student work that you're seeing here and there, that's happening, but there's a lot of former students that are in this realm where they're submitting stuff that I can't really talk about on the live stream. So I would take this time to, really commit to the daily stream. And with that in mind, I just want to take a couple of minutes to riff on some general things that I'm seeing, and kind of give you some ideas of how to maybe handle some of this stuff. So first thing, I hear over and over again from designers who have received a recommendation from a client, maybe a coworker. These things that we really value, and we want these things. We want to put them on LinkedIn. But I keep hearing from, oh, is this too much? I think this is really going a bit over the top. It doesn't sound. I don't know if it's sincere. But just stop doubting yourself. Okay, that's the first thing. Stop doubting yourself. The thing that I've noticed is that we get really uncomfortable when we receive a compliment. Like if you've done work for somebody and they want to go on LinkedIn and write you a recommendation, and it's just like, oh, such and such is this and such is that, and you should really hire. That's great. That's why we have the recommendations that we want to post. Like, you don't want some watered down recommendation where it's like, yeah, you know what, if you have this very specific need, this person might work out for you. That wouldn't be a good recommendation. And I think the thing that you have to do when you're getting these recommendations, and to be comfortable with it, because I get it. I mean, I know you when you hear somebody boasting about their skills or about what they can do, it sounds fake. Okay, it just, like, gosh, they go on, and I don't want to be that person. I get it, but at the same time, you have to realize the person that's making the recommendation, that's their words about you. It's not your words about you. So remember that the source really matters here. If somebody else wants to go on and on about how great you are, soak it up. That's a win. Okay, just accept it. Say thank you and move on. All right. So the second thing I want to talk about this morning, and some of the stuff I'm talking about is what I'm experiencing in giving feedback to some of my students, is handling the handoff. And a lot of times as a designer, you may be working with a tech team, and sometimes that tech team is very close to you. I happen to be doing some work with a couple of teams right now, and those teams are I can reach out and talk to them at any point in time. Then other times they're further away, and when they're further away, it's like a vendor that's been brought on, and you have it went through some sort of management discussion in some other department, and your work is now in their hands, and there was no real great handoff. Those things happen, okay, but it's not a situation where you are powerless. There's always opportunities to have a conversation. The earlier you can have the conversation, the better. A lot of times we dread the conversation, and we kind of hold off. The longer you hold off, the more likely it is that nothing positive will come of it. Okay, just know that right away. If you want something positive to come out of these conversations, you got to have them as soon as possible. And oftentimes I find that it helps if you bring more than just your problem to the conversation. Like if you have an issue with certain engineering solution or vendor that's been brought in to do something, always go back to them with, "Hey, I saw what where we're at, and that's not quite what I was thinking, but I've tried to meet you halfway. I've tried to I've tried to acknowledge where you're at, but if we did this, if we used could we use this tool or could we do it this way, taking into account where they're at, all right? I think that would be a much more fruitful situation than just kind of, you know, grousing in the background, going, gosh, I can't believe they didn't do X. All right. Now, yes, reach out as soon as possible. That's step one. Two, let them know what's up. Let them know like how you feel about what's happened. But also, if there is something that's really bothering you, like try to do some legwork into figuring out, okay, what did they attempt? Why did they attempt to do it? Why did they attempt to solve this the way they did? And then how could we tweak this to make it work? What can we do? Because, you know, I do think that these solutions should be a back and forth. Everything that a designer makes should not end up in the final. Because if you don't understand the constraints of the realm that you're building in, oftentimes your engineering team will hit you with a dose of reality that you needed anyway. But this is why I like having engineering teams and design teams and really product teams talking from a very early point through the process. If you can be talking through the process, you don't end up in these situations where each party's in their own corner and I can't believe they did it this way and I can't believe they didn't do it this way. So earlier communication, that's ultimately the best place you're going to be. And remember, like if somebody gives you a recommendation, the only thing I need you to say is thank you. All right. I got to run to a couple of student meetings. So without further ado, Chris Courtney. That's been my stream of thought. See ya.